Good evening. My name is Kristen Pietryka, and I am the managing editor of Frame Your Future. Frame Your Future is the Communication Arts Department blog here at Marywood-University, where 5 of our comm art students blog weekly about department news, media organizations, current student profiles, alumni profiles, and industry trends. Tonight we are going to discuss our most recent topics, including exciting TV-Marywood news, current student spotlights, communications-related trends to the food and dining industry, what comm arts alumni are up to and their advice to current students, and also the Facebook journalism program. Joining me tonight is junior digital media and broadcasting major Ann Zukowski. Ann, can you tell us how you're involved in the communication arts department?
Sure. So my freshman year, I joined the Woodward, and that's back in the day when we were still as a newspaper. And I was a reporter, photographer, and the web editor. And then I was in SCJ for Society for Collegiate Journalists, and I'm a member of PRSSA and AAF. I'm a blogger for Frame Your Future, and I'm the promotions director for 91.7 VMFM, the news director for TVM-News, and a crew person for TVM.
Now tell me something you don't do.
I don't really sleep. I'm just joking, I totally do.
Next, we have Margaret Scott, a junior advertising and public relations major. Margaret, can you also tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am assistant arts and entertainment editor for the Woodward. I'm a part of PRSSA and AAF. I DJ for 91.7 VMFM. I'm part of SCJ, and I like to hike.
You like to hike?
I do.
And you were at our induction ceremony.
I was.
In January, and you were inducted to both SCJ and PRSSA and AAF at the same time,
Yes.
which is very impressive.
Thank
Congratulations on that. So last we have senior graphic design major Elizabeth Carlson. Elizabeth, what activities do you find yourself involved in the department?
Well, along with my graphic design major, I'm an advertising minor. So that's how I'm involved in the communication arts department. I'm also assistant design editor for the Woodward. I also got inducted into SEJ, and I also do graphics for the communication department.
You do a lot of graphics for the communication arts department. You are a vital part of PRSSA with getting promotions done, especially through Marywood Media Group.
Thank you.
Congratulations for Elizabeth for that. Let's get started with our first topic of the evening. Ann, tell us what's happening with TV-Marywood. I know there was a premiere of a new program, Late Night Marywood, and the news is going live.
Yeah, so much is happening with TVM lately. So we have our new studio, we're still learning everything and figuring out what we could do with our studio and our control room. So we have a new logo as of last semester. So for the newscast, we are able to play around with the logo to make it match our virtual set, which is really great that we have that, and we're able to play around with our green screen, which is really cool when it comes to any type of programs for TV-Marywood. And also, this semester we just started a late night talk show, Late Night Marywood, and Rachel Eiler is the co-host for that, and it's pretty exciting. What we do for that is we're collaborating and inviting members of the community and Marywood students, anybody from Marywood or the community onto the show, and we invite musicians and bands, and it's a good time. We also had Elizabeth, you created the logo, which looks really awesome. So we also collaborated with PRSSA to promote that. Back to the newscast. This semester, we're really trying to explore our platforms for when it comes down to sharing the newscast and getting the news of what's happening in the Marywood community. A big thing with that is we go Facebook Live, and we're still on Comcast 21, and we're also experimenting with going live on YouTube. So that's another platform for our community of sharing news.
And that's every Monday at 9 p.m.?
That's for Late Night Marywood.
Yes.
Yes.
For Late Night Marywood,
Yeah.
which you and Rachel are doing a great job with.
It's such a fun show. We really get to show everybody what we have and just pretty much invite people on and show what talents they have or something to let our audience know about.
I've been thoroughly enjoying the musical guests.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's a great part of the show.
They're
Yeah,
really exciting. It's a great opportunity to give bands, local bands, artists, musicians, the chance to show what talents they have. So that's really fun.
We have so many talented local people, so I think it's really
yeah.
great that you guys are hosting them on the show
Yeah.
like that. Okay. So next, Margaret. This week you talked to two very busy students in the Communication Arts Department. Can you tell us about why you chose these specific students?
Yeah, so last week I actually talked to Rachel Eiler, who is co-host with you on Late Night Marywood. She stays very busy in the department. I picked her because she's part of everything. One of the quotes she said in the spotlight was that she really likes to try everything before she kind of narrows it down to something that she wants to stick with, which I thought was a really good, for a freshman, motto to live by, because you truly do have to try everything to see what you really want to do. And then the other student I picked was Courtney Cordish. She actually just transferred from Temple, so I thought she was a good student because she's already she's really a big part of the Communication Arts Department right now. She takes part in TV-Marywood. She's part of PRSSA and AAF. I know she does a lot. She volunteers a lot for PRSSA, so a lot of her time goes there.
And she's a camera person for the newscast too, so she's definitely involved.
Yeah, she does a lot with that. She's also part of the Marywood chapter of Love Your Melon, which obviously is a really good foundation. So they're both very big parts of the Communication Arts Department, which I thought was important to highlight.
From my experience working with both of them, I can say they're both very hardworking women, and I know Rachel's doing phenomenal with you on the show, and Courtney, actually last semester we did a t-shirt fundraiser and she designed the whole shirt by herself. We raised more money than we did all of last year, and right now we're working on another fundraiser, so she's right on the ball with being fundraising chair.
Yeah.
Right. In addition to current students, we also have some Comm Arts alumni that have been accomplishing some pretty cool things. First, we have Lauren Siegfried, who is the class of 2010. Lauren is currently the marketing director for an architecture, engineering, and interior design firm. She graduated with the Bachelor of Arts in Comm Arts, concentrating in advertising and public relations. Right out of college, she got a job at a dermatology firm and then moved on to a career at Marywood-University as electronics communications coordinator. At her current position as marketing director, she organizes proposals, develops brochures and presentations for client relationships. She redesigned the entire company website and consistently manages their social media accounts. Our next Alumni Spotlight was Mary Ellen Keating, and she graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts with a concentration in radio and television and a minor in public relations. She's currently the Senior Vice President of Corporate Communications and Public Affairs at Barnes & Noble Incorporated. She's held that position since 1998, and she serves as their chief spokesperson for the company. She is responsible for all of their internal and external communications and takes care of everything aspect-wise for communications on a national level for the brand. She is in charge of community outreach, special events, corporate philanthropy projects, and she knows how to work with journalists very well. She said her favorite aspect of her career at Barnes & Noble Incorporated is media. She said she knows what they want to hear, she knows how to communicate with them, and she knows how to spread a good brand name for Barnes & Noble. So, two very impressive alumni spotlights for the last 2 weeks. Next we have Elizabeth. I know you researched some trends that are taking place in our field in the food industry. Can you explain?
Sure. So I noticed this article on Adweek, and it was about hip new ways to dine. And it's mostly happening down in the South, where local restaurants are taking the initiative to make new restaurants for the younger demographic. So, for example, Denny's created the Den, which is strategically placed near college campuses, so that it's also opened later hours, so that college kids can go and get late night food. And another one was Cracker Barrel. They formed Holler and Dash, which their entire menu is based off of biscuits, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I found this topic so
That's
interesting
crazy.
because just targeting like millennials and people in college and like having the same brand, but just pulling different restaurants out. Like,
Exactly. They didn't want to just change their entire menu or change their entire look of their restaurant, so instead they just
branched.
branched out and made a new one.
That's awesome.
Something else that I researched was the Facebook Journalism Project, which is being held right now. It's obviously a Facebook project that is geared towards making sure that fake news isn't put online or in Facebook articles. And I thought it was a very interesting topic and good article to read about how they're also partnering with the News Literacy Project, which is letting high school and middle schoolers learn the difference between fact and fiction. So by them working together, they should be able to limit the amount of fake news that happens on Facebook.
I think that's so important in today's society because we're so social driven and we're just so ready to believe anything that we see. So I think that's so important, especially for people our age and younger, because they jump right on whatever they see.
And that's where they get all their news. It's Facebook.
Exactly.
So it's so important. Yeah.
Social media, it's like a prime news source for people our age and younger. Even people older than us, I feel like everybody is just going with the trend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. This past weekend, PRSSA headed to Boston for the PR Advanced What's Your Story conference. The theme was storytelling, and Elizabeth and I actually attended the conference this past weekend. We can both say that it was very informative and the best conference I've attended for PRSSA. I can't really go into detail about everything that we learned because there is going to be another Frame Your Future article about this coming up next week, so we don't want to spoil everybody's fun there. But I will say that there was some big names there, like Ogilvy Public Relations Firm was a big one, Ben & Jerry was there, and the Chief Communications Officer for Dunkin' Brands was there, and she gave a phenomenal keynote address.
She did.
Yes.
That seemed like such a good opportunity. I'm really glad you guys got the opportunity to go over there to Boston and see and meet and mingle and maybe give your resumes and everything with those professionals and hear what they had to say.
We both handed out a few business cards.
Oh, yeah.
We made sure that we kind of worked our way around and got our name out there a little bit, so it was very helpful. And I think I gave a resume out, and you did as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it was a very good experience, and it was a great group. It was the two of us and Alex Middle and Casey Markevich, and great group to travel with. We had a great time, and altogether, great experience. We also had the chance to sit down this week with William Murphy, who is a new Comm Arts faculty member. William is teaching a motion graphics class this spring 2017 semester. But before we go into details about the class, I'll tell you a little bit about William. He got his undergraduate's degree at University of Vermont, and that was in English and television. And then he went on to get his master's degree at Emerson College in Boston for visual media. And he also works for Fox 56 as a commercial editor and producer, which I found pretty interesting. And he works very closely with live local sports. And I'm a sports enthusiast, so I found that very interesting also. So Anne, I know you are in the special topics class for motion graphics. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're learning?
Yeah, sure. So the class is pretty worthwhile right now. We're learning the foundations of being organized and using projects and importing and exporting and effects and everything in the program After Effects. So that's really cool, and I think Bill Murphy is one of the great professors who's there for you, because not only does he work in the industry, so he knows what's going to be expected for commercials or any type of lower thirds, any type of graphic design. For TV-Marywood, we can make commercials now or little extra text, which is really awesome for a virtual set. So it's definitely a worthwhile class, and I'm really glad that I'm in the opportunity to be in that class. And I think it's also worthwhile that Bill Murphy knows a lot about what's in the program, but he also says that it's such a big program that he's still learning too, but he knows a lot about it. So if you needed help in the class or anything really, he's there for you. And I thought that was really helpful, because when I'm trying to build a PSA or commercial, I didn't know what I was doing, so I'd be like, can you repeat that? And he was definitely there for us. So that was really nice of him to be that guidance and show us a lot of cool things.
Thanks, Anne. I never got to meet him personally.
He's such a funny guy.
I've heard that, that he's a really nice guy, and he's actually a Dunmore native, which is right here where Marywood is, so that's pretty cool that he came back and now he's teaching at the college. And one thing that he did talk about when he was interviewed by one of our bloggers was that if anything happens this semester, his primary goal is that the students taking his course will have a better foundation for the concept of motion graphics, and then they could build on that throughout the rest of their time at Marywood or in their future career. And another thing that he said was to never stop learning, and if you keep taking in information and like the process of learning and gathering new information and taking it to the next level, that you're going to be successful, because life is just constant process and you can never learn too much. So I thought that was really inspirational and looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining us tonight from inside the Learning Commons to discuss the current happenings of the Comm Arts Department. For more information about Frame Your Future, go to www.frameyourfuture.wordpress.com. Follow Marywood-University's Communication Arts Department on Facebook at MUCommArts, and follow us on Instagram at MUCommArts. Catch up with us next time on the Frame Your Future special by TVM. Have a great night.